Welcome in, guys, to another RTS video. This is your boy JustCMTexx. I'm back. We're going to go ahead and get directly into it. As you can see on the screen here, we have a tier list, a little bit different this time. We are doing control tunes. These are tunes specifically that have the control icon on them. Not that they can't be of another source of control, but specifically just the control icons. I'm just going to go ahead and rank these guys. As you can see, they're down here on the screen. Some good, some bad, some ugly. We're going to go ahead and get directly into it. So first on this tier list, we have my boy Ajax. Now, Ajax is okay. He is definitely a tier list. Control tune can be as high as the S tier. The reason why is Ajax is more so a control tune unto himself. All control tunes have the 40% lower enemy resistance, but with Ajax, like, he heals himself and he does a couple other things towards himself. The only thing that he does really well that's going to help your teammates out, or help the teammates out that's in his team, is he does have Devastating Blow as a specialist skill. And what Devastating Blow is going to do is, Devastating Blow is going to remove, once it crits, it's going to remove that bonus HP. And then, you can be able to attack somebody's just regular HP. So, for example, if somebody has, like, Peacekeeper has 146k HP, and then Peacekeeper has full bonus HP, that's another 146k HP. So it's going to remove 146, and he's just going to be able to attack the regular 146k that Peacekeeper have on him. And that could kind of work once you normalize and things of that nature. That's what Ajax is going to do. But he's going to cleanse himself, he's going to heal himself. He doesn't provide any of that to his other teammates. This is why Ajax is an A tier list, but because of that Devastating Blow, can be as high as S tier. Next on this list is Bucket Hat Cow. Now, I personally believe Bucket Hat Cow is a S tier list tune. Number one, he has the neutralize skill. So when this character attacks a human target that has 80% or more adrenaline, that target will be impaired for one turn. So he does impair. He stops them from doing their rush. Also, too, he has 100% exhaust resist, and this is gonna work well because Kyle is constantly getting HP. So what you want him to do is you want him to constantly rush, not to take Toons out, but simply to impair and negative 20 AP. So what he is going to do is he's going to rush. He's going to do a little bit of damage, 400% damage, but he's going to get his rush right back. That exhaust is going to kick in so that he is not instantly wiped out, just in case he's facing a tune like Denise in the lead skill. And then he's going to impair and the negative 20%, and you want to kind of keep that in a rotation. So this is why he is a very, very good S tier control tune. So you can be able to use him in that manner. He does have some support stuff as well, kind of supportish as well, but obviously we're talking about the control tune, so this is what you want to go ahead and look at. And his specialist skill, like I said, is the neutralize, right? And then his signature move is going to do the impair a line for 2 turns, and then he's going to get 50% AP, so he's going to constantly be rushing and stuff like that to be able to help your team out. So this is why we have him in the S tier. Next is Clementine. Now, Clementine is a leader, and she goes in the S plus tier list. The reason why is because I know people are going to say, okay, we can't use Clementine here, we can't use Clementine there. I understand that, okay, if you're at the top of the echelon, you're using Shane and stuff like that. But on road maps, conquests, these other places within the game, that if you're a new player or a player that's still completing those things, challenge run, she can be used there. And Clementine can be used still as a leader, because what? She stuns, and stun is a very, very effective debilitating status that you can be able to use within RTS. And she applies crit to some of her fellow tunes, which are the Telltale tunes. So she is absolutely adorable, because we love Clementine. She's one of the best tunes as far as the lore goes, but also she's really good as a leader as well too. She's going to give everybody 35% attack. And then if you have a Telltale teammate, so you can kind of like throw Kenny out there to still do some kind of strong bit of a damage. If you don't have some of the higher damage tunes, throw him out there. She's going to give him torrent resist too, and it's going to be able to absolutely shred and, you know, go nuts on some of those lower to mid tier teams. So this is what we have Clementine S+ tier. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Next we have Dale. Dale is the toon that we thought he could have been, but he just fell a little bit short. So Dale can be used on a defensive team, and he does apply, I believe it's stun that Dale applies to an enemy, and he does give negative AP on his signature move, and that's what it was, daze. He applies daze, and he applies impair, so you can be able to use him in that manner. He also does have the manic specialist skill, where he constantly gains AP and be able to rush, and then on his rush he is going to do 300 damage to enemies. Those enemies get impair and daze for 2 turns, so he is going to be able to do that. But he is a latter year toon, not somebody that you will put out there on your main defense now, but at one point in time he was decent. There's just other toons in the game that you can use instead of him, so he definitely goes here on the A tier list. Can be, you know, B or A, but I have him here at the A tier list. Next on this list we have Diamond. Okay, now Diamond is a little bit tricky because she's a head cracker toon, so she cleanses herself, but also too, she is a stun machine, and she gives guardian shield on her rush. She has stun resistance, and all alert teammates get 30% bonus trait damage. So she is actually a really good control toon. Stun is a very powerful tool that you can be able to use in a game. Of course, we have stun resist mods and things of that nature, but in those cases when they're not used, she can be able to be put on a team and wipe them out, help with the wiping out of those toons. So I think that she's actually pretty good. Diamond is definitely an S tier list toon as well. And like I said, if you have her, you can use her. She is in a challenge run shop. You can be able to go for her as well. And there we have it. Now Eric is S+. He just recently was released, and Eric does quite a bit. He's a buy toon. At the start of each wave, 100% chance all tough teammates get 100% bleed resist, so he applies that bleed resist. Why is bleed out there? Because we know Zachary still exists, so you still need that burn and bleed to be able to protect it from. He also has a chance to revive a teammate with 100% of their health, and when he's been affected by a debilitating status, he get 100% of defense against attacks as well. So he is a absolute nightmare. This is a pay to play character, but if you had a chance to get your hands on him, he is pretty good, and you can kind of throw a different weapon in his hand. I'm trying to think. You could put like an impair weapon in his hand, an impair daze kind of combo. If you can boost up, his defense from other areas, it's just so much that you can be able to do with him. But his skills, he's gonna heal all teammates for 75% of their max health for 2 turns. All tough teammates get trauma resistance for 2 turns. This guy is good. He's really good. And he's gonna do 15% of the total max AP damage, HP damage, to 2 enemies. So whatever the total team max damage is, that HP is, that's what he's gonna do as damage to other 2 other teammates, not teammates, 2 other people on the opposite team. So I mean, he's pretty strong. So definitely wanna look into Eric if you don't have him. Now we have Eugene here. Eugene is used as maim. Maim is something that you can get around, but I still think that is pretty strong because people are not protecting against maim. So in those instances, you can definitely be able to use Eugene 2000. I think he is pretty good, simply because he does a lot of damage, and he is going to also help with that maim there as well. And he's a Guardian 2 toon, so he's going to provide Guardian shields when he crits as well too. And he has a plus 50% crit multiplier. There's just a lot going on within his kit. He is going to really be able to help, while performing a critical hit. 100% chance the targets take 25% of their max damage as main. This guy is nuts. He's really good. And if you're playing against a team that doesn't have main as protection, he can definitely help with that. Main can be cleansed, but not everybody is cleansing, so he can be used in that instance. Next, we have Georgia on his tier list. Georgia is S plus tier list. She's probably S plus plus simply because she can normalize Toons, and normalize is something that's heavily needed in the game to stop guys such as PK and these other guys, Aaron, the payback guys and stuff like that. So that's really good. Glenn at one time was very strong. He is a leader. He does give AP when he crits to a Toon. So he was good at one point, but Glenn is definitely a Toon that you probably want to use just for like your regular roadmaps if you want to have some fun. But like I said, he is a C tier list Toon. Next, we have Governor. No need to explain the Governor. He was just a terribly built Toon. F tier list. Gregory the Grouch. Gregory the Grouch is a S tier list Toon. A lot of people sleep on Gregory the Grouch, but Gregory the Grouch is very, very strong in the sense that at the start of each wave, all damage road teammates get 60% bonus HP, so he's going to add that extra layer so they can't be easily taken out when attacking. 50% chance to steal 2 positive effects. So he kind of has a built-in ransack into his kit. All right, he has 80% damage increase towards tough enemies, and on top of that, his weapon has maim shot already on it. So when he crits, whatever damage he does is going to turn into main damage. You can kind of pair him in that main team with Eugene, kind of get that synergy going as much as you possibly can. It's looking really good, so you definitely want to be able to do that. He is definitely an S tier list Toon. Gregory is a D tier list Toon. He was early on. A lot of these series 1 Toons are very old, and you can't really like put them into teams now. He's an indomitable Toon. At one point he was good. He does do some impair and he gives slow out, but there's just ways around that now. And like I said, he's a generation 1 Toon, so he's definitely D tier list. Next on this list is Harper. Harper used to be pretty good as a leader. And if you're new to the game and you can get your hands on her, like there's a ranking of Toons that you want to use. Trader, if you could get your hands on Trader is definitely the like pinnacle leader that you want to be able to have. But underneath Trader, you have people like Clementine, Harper, Negan, and things of that nature. So and this is on the free to play side. Obviously, pay to play, you're gonna have other Toons that you can be able to use. If you were able to get your hands on Erica, she still falls under Trader. He is really good, and then Harper can be able to be used there as well too, so she's good there. Jackie is another Toon that's really good. I put Jackie here on the S tier list as a free to play control Toon that you can be able to get your hands on. And if you get your hands on her, she does give 30% attack, but also too she has 100% burn and bleed resistance for the first 2 turns of combat. So if somebody had at one time you couldn't see the defenses, if somebody had a Zachary on a defense, guess what, Jackie is going to stop that bleed there. It's going to help you out because his bleed only lasts the first 2 turns unless it is like a dot expansion on the defensive team and they extend it, but other than that, 2 turns. So she is a good lead simply for this to be able to turn that away. And she also provides a 3-turn confuse on her signature move, so she's definitely good. Lady Z is an A tier list support Toon. Why? Because one, she gets 15% boost flat out attack to all red Toons. On top of that, she has a lot of control within her kit where she is providing daze on her signature move to up to 2 enemies, and she's making a critical attack as well too. And she's a Halo specialist, so when she dies she get 50% chance to be revived. So it kind of works into her specialist move where her adrenaline rush, where she'll go ahead, use her adrenaline rush, and then after she uses her adrenaline rush, she takes bleed damage, die, revive, that whole sort of thing. So the Halo works perfectly well into her kit. But yeah, at one point in time she was definitely used. I even have a video on her as well too. So Lady Z, A tier list Toon. Laura, S plus. Why? She gives AP to the Toon, she gives daze, and she revives. She is absolutely a beauty there. Laura 2000. we're gonna put her here in the F tier list. Never just worked out. Was to me a poorly designed toon, but you know, maybe she can come back around in another Skybound event and be better. Next we have Marcus here. Marcus is S tier list. Why? Because Marcus is a very strong control tool. Now, here's what happened. He has Indomitable on top of Indomitable. At the start of each wave, all teammates get 100% stun resistance, so you can't stun them the first turn. And then at the start of each wave, 100% chance to remove focus from up to 3 teammates. So he removes focus. So that means that where focus was previously applied, these guys are now going to be able to be, you know, taunted and stuff like that. And 60% chance to stun somebody who attack him. So he is going to stun somebody that attacks, and then on top of that, he taunts within his signature move. So he is definitely a S tier list, can be as high as S plus. Marge is an A tier list support toon. I've been begging for her to come back around, something that I've been talking about. She was in the battle pass. I think she's good, and hopefully soon we can get our hands on her. She is a head cracker toon. On top of that, when being attacked by an enemy with a debilitating effect, reduce that damage taken by 40%. So at the start of each wave, 100% chance this character gets 70% trauma resistance. When this character performs a critical hit, 50% chance an enemy gets normalized. Yes, she provides a lot of normalized, and Marge can be as high as the S tier here. S plus, if you build her right, you can be able to use her in teams, and she's going to taunt enemies into her as well, reduce that attack. Those enemies are gonna get exhaust. She has a lot going on, and then on her weapon, she has exhaust on hit. She applies 6,000 exhaust to the target for 2 turns, so she's pretty good. And she can be used on the offensive defensive end. So if you have Marge, find a way to put her in one of your teams. If you don't, when she come back around, definitely want to get your hands on her. Martinez is a toon that, you know, is the series 1 toon. He's a C level toon, but it's just like no way to be able to use him within the current meta right now, because there are other control toons that does what Martinez do that you can be able to use that are a little bit better than what Martinez is currently sitting at. So you definitely want to you know, if you need some level up stuff, you could probably level him up just to have him leveled up. But as far as using him on your main team, might not. He's a confounding toon. We just have other toons that are better. Michelle is a lead. She is a tier list lead. Now she does apply 500% infection 3 turns. It's really hard to cleanse that, and she has a lot of synergy with the group that she's from, the Whisperers. You can definitely look into her. You can even put her on the side of a team and use that infection to be able to, you know, it's hard to cleanse 500%, so you can be able to use that as well there too. Old Man Gregor is a C tier list toon. He is one of the only toons that you can use for the for the hidden toons that you're doing in faction assault. That's where Old Man Gregor is. Now he does have some lacerator abilities, but they're better lacerators in the game, so this is why he lands on the C tier list. Razzo is very good. Razzo is going to boost out that stun. He is a outlast toon. On top of that, dealing stun, he's also going to deal 20% of his defense and bleed when he rushes, and Razzo can pretty much just constantly stun because he has a 0 turn cooldown on that specialist skill. He was a first tier toon, and you know, obviously we're later into the game, so if you kind of put him on a Chachki team, especially mid to lower tier, you can be able to use Razzo. He is a decent toon. Now Revolution Ralito just came out. He is a tier list toon. As a matter of fact, he can be as high as S tier. I'm putting him at A right now just because we're trying to figure out how he's gonna work within the meta. Now, for one reason, I'm going to actually move him to S tier, and that's because burn and bleed is very prevalent right now in this meta and can be used in a variety of ways, and he helps tremendously with burn and bleed. If he's gonna burn the middle character, and then he's gonna burn one adjacent character, on top of that, he's gonna give his team 50% attack versus those burn tunes. So you could imagine some combos, you know, with Thanksgiving Sophia come nightmarish, man. He is very, very strong. So we definitely have him there at the S tier list. Next we have Roadie. Roadie is a S tier tune. She can be S plus. Matter of fact, Roadie is S plus because she is a savior, literally, in faction assault. She's very, very good and should be on as many faction assault teams you can put on. That burn really, really helps. She is very, very good in that sense. So you definitely want to go ahead and use Roadie. Rosita, B tier list here. Anybody that does very strong debilitating effects, I think that they are really good tunes, and Rosita is definitely a tune that does debilitating effects with that stun. She is cutthroat. There are ways to be able to improve her. I wish she can go through a rework. We can deal with that at a later time, but she is a B tier list tune. Next on this tune list, I'm sorry, is Rosie, and Rosie, she's difficult because if Rosie goes off, she can be good, but if you get to her first, it's really hard, you know, to consider her higher than the tier that she's at right now. You know, she is a human shield, and she came out as a 4th of July event tune last year. She was good at that time, but now there's just so many ways around the human shield and everything like that, so she doesn't, you know, play a strong role. But if she goes off, she's gonna apply negative 75% attack to your damage roll tunes, and that could become a problem with other things that you can kind of like put together with her and the Denise team and stuff like that. It become a nightmare dealing with them at times. But this is where Rosie lands. Next we have Heath. We're gonna go ahead and put Heath and John down here on the F tier. These are silver mythics. They really don't have a place in the game right now, and if you're trying to use them at any level besides starting off at the very beginning of the game, they're not going to be as helpful. Next on this list, we have Slasher Alpha. Slasher Alpha S plus tier list leader. She dazes your tunes the first 2 turns of combat, so you can't do signature moves. So somebody that's like Sophia that needs to use a signature move, if it lands on her, it could become, instead of a 1 turn or 2 turn battle, it could become a 4-6 turn battle simply by the defensive team being able to go off early. Slasher Alpha is very, very good. Sophia, best attack tune in the game, one of the best attack tune in the game. She's definitely my favorite right now. She could literally take out 2 lines. She's very, very strong. I know we have her as a control tune, but she does more so damage. She's just very, 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 very strong, and if you got a chance to get her, you can get off the wheel. I would definitely go ahead and pick her up. She's very good. Thanksgiving Tie, C tier list tune, came out as a Thanksgiving event. Haven't had really much play. Trader is a S plus tier list tune. He is one of the leaders that you can get your hands on, and he is very, very good. He is one of the only leaders, matter of fact, the only leader that has true synergy within his stable. So him and Titan has very good synergy together. And if you can get those two working in a group, they are very good. Next we have Veronica. You know, Veronica was good at one point. She was very, very strong. She does stun on her rush, but there are other tunes that are much stronger than her right now. Because she's a grade 1 tune, you can easily be able to take her out. Wangfa, still a very strong leader. You can use him in your war team defense, on one of your main defenses with some of these yellow tunes that come out. He is a what you call a rainbow leader. You can use anybody behind him. He does also give burn and bleed protection for the first 2 turns of combat, so that really is going to help out on that defensive side. Next we have Winter Benjamin, and Winter Benjamin is definitely an S tier tune. He has confounding. This is why I was saying Martinez is a little bit back, you know, because Winter Benjamin has confounding. He has a ransack weapon, and he hits like a truck when you have these debilitating statuses. You can definitely be able to use Winter Benjamin. In that case, Winter Marcus is a S tier list leader. Winter Marcus can kind of be used on both ends of the field. He's more so offensive, He is going to give crit bonuses, so Toons that normally you would run a crit set on, if you set them up specifically to run in Winter Marcus's team, you won't need that. You can lean more into damage. He just does a lot. He also stuns a Toon for the rest of combat. This guy is really, really good. And on top of that, when Winter Marcus rush, 2 enemies in the back row gets confused for 2 turns. 3 other enemies get 75% heal reduction for 2 turns. So this is really going to help out as well. And last but not least, we do have Yumiko. Now, Yumiko is a C tier list Toon. At one point, she would have been S tier. She was very good, you know, in a couple metas ago, but she has fallen out of the rotation with that. That's because we have somebody else who does the confounding and confusing, which is Winter Benjamin, and he's much stronger with power, creep, and everything of that nature. So you definitely will want to be able to use him. So this here is my control tier list. I do have a damage tier list. I have an overall tier list coming as well. More stuff headed to you in the month of May. This your boy JustCMTexx. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Peace.